Hello everyone, welcome to this podcast episode where I want to unpack some of the messages that were coming through yesterday that I recorded in an energy reading type of format, and then I realized, looking back, the message was very long. I was reading through the messages didn't come through very clearly, and I want to explain why, because it's very tied to today's episode. There's a reason why today I'm recording this in this format that is much more structured. I integrated the messages. I created a bit of a structure, a bit more understanding. Here's the thing, we are going to the next level. It's something I shared in the community tab, that we are going to the next level of our purpose, our mission, or I want to say shared purpose, okay, for Divine Counterparts. So far, we have been focused on individual mastery, right? With the number 1111, this is why I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the yin-yang dynamic of Divine Counterparts. Many of you know that I have released the term twin flame because I believe twin flame is a stage, okay? Is a stage of our awakening that we have completed, that we are out of, okay? Now we are rising into divine partnership, Divine Counterparts, actual partnership, grounded in the 3D. It's like it makes sense in the 3D. Twin flames are energetic connections that are meant to take you to this level of mastery, to remember who you are as a master, okay? Not necessarily to be together and do this together in the 3D. So Divine Counterparts, the reason why the number 1111 is so strongly connected to divine partnership, it's because the number 11 is a master number. The number 11 is completion plus one, meaning yes, you have completed. It's almost like you have a master's degrees and then you have a PhD or something. You have completed the whole ascension. You have completed the whole this whole deal, this whole healing journey, this whole spiritual growth journey, this whole awakening journey, and then some, right? This is what the number 11 talks about. So the two divine counterparts that are coming together in a shared mission, they are masters, okay? However, this is what I want to explain, how this dynamic can get tricky, why it can get tricky. Here's the thing. So the divine masculine is quote unquote complete in his divine masculine level of mastery, the 10, right? But then they have a 1. That 1 symbolizes the feminine aspect within them that is connected to the divine feminine. However, they're at the level of 1. They're at the level of page in that sense, right? So same goes for the feminine. The feminine is a 10 in terms of her emotional expression, in terms of her empathy, in terms of her creative force. She's a master of the spiritual realm, right? But then she has the 1, which is the sun in the moon, right? We have a much more advanced perspective, masculine perspective than quote unquote like other feminines, right? For example, for me, the reason why I can understand to the slightest degree that I can a little bit understand the divine masculine is because I have been surrounded by masculine energy. I have been in an environment with a lot of masculines. I was forced, right? I was forced into developing that aspect of myself. I was in engineering for like 10 years and I was very connected to my masculine side. Obviously in a very distorted way because I was stifling my feminine energy, but that's a whole other topic. However, I was forced to, although not my natural inclination, I was forced to develop this side as part of my mission, right? The masculines as well. The masculines are, yes, they're very strong individuals, right? They're very strong in their masculine energy. But then they are also much more sensitive than the regular quote-unquote masculine, the regular male, right? The matrix man, the like billionaire chasing women, superficial type of role models out there, right? The same goes for the feminine. They have this understanding of the masculine perspective and they're not leaning on to, like, there is this view of extreme masculinity and extreme femininity, right? The billionaire and the gold digger, right? It's like, that's not what this is all about. This one helps us, like, ties us together because we're able to get a little bit of a sneak peek into the other's world. Now, are we going to be able to fully align with the depth of our mastery? I believe this is a dance that we are invited to start practicing, and that is what creates the unity. That is what creates this deep bond. It's shared similarities, yes, but it's more so in the understanding of the other's complementary force, complementary mastery. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about today. Very, very important. The new dance that we are invited to go into, that we are invited to start learning, right? It's like we're changing from tango to, I don't know, some other dance. I'm not very good in like partner dances, but I mean, we're learning we're learning something else. So the only way to go into this shared purpose, the only way to create this shared purpose is through compassion. We have to have compassion towards the masculine's lack of emotional depth and emotional maturity, and the masculines as well need to look at the feminine as a baby. Literally, this is where it might sound a little bit odd what I'm about to say, because I just saw 144. Okay, because it could be mistaken for codependency. This is not what this is all about. Codependency is when you rely on the other person as the source of everything, as the source of your opposite nature. Okay. In this case, we need to rely on each other's mastery. There's no other way. It's by freaking design. It's how it's created by God, by the creator. Like, who are we, little beings over here, to argue with that? What do I mean by that? The divine feminines may push away the masculines that are just completely oblivious to this whole emotional thing. Or they may look completely insensitive because of your heightened sensitivity, Divine Feminine. Divine Masculines may not understand at all the chaos that the Divine Feminine is living in, the chaos of her emotions, because of their overly practical nature, and because of their need to create more structure in something that is very flowy, such as emotions. Okay, now this may create a lot of tension between the counterparts when two masters come together, because we also have very high standards for ourselves, both sides of the collective. Okay, both. We are masters, right? So we are not accepting just sorry, my throat chakra is going crazy. Okay, we're back. What I was saying is that we have high standards, right? However, when we look at this design, it's meant to be this way. And what ties us together, it's compassion. It's understanding the other's viewpoint and understanding the other's worldview, and helping each other grow in those areas. This is where I use the term like baby. It's literally parenting, but parenting at a different level. So Divine Masculines need to provide the structure, the logical perspective, the practical nature, their mind's mastery, their protection, their mastery of the material realm, in a way that is literally like microdosing the Divine Feminine into this expanded worldview. Same goes for the feminines, right? If the Divine Feminine will come along with her very heightened emotions and her emotional depth, it's just completely going to overwhelm the Divine Masculine. So when we look at this dynamic from this perspective, then we can understand our role in each other's lives, as well as the world. The Divine Masculine is meant to provide his mastery to the world. The Divine Feminine is meant to provide her mastery to the world, right? The Divine Masculine is meant to free people from the mind control, from the mind matrix. The Divine Feminine, she is meant to liberate, emotional liberation, emotional freedom. So this is mind freedom and emotional freedom. What do I mean by emotional freedom? Emotional freedom is when we are connected to the rawness of our emotions, when we do not try to change the nature of who we are, and when we are in our most authentic expression. Okay, when we try to change who we are because we are too sensitive and the world is very harsh, because we are creative and the world labels us as ADHD and whatnot and wants us to be more practical, because we have a very strong sensual or sexual nature and the world is shaming us for it, because we are too empathic and people take advantage of our nature as healers. So fuck all that. See, like, the way this is coming through is a lot of rage, a lot of resentment towards this very distorted, highly hyper masculine structure of the matrix of the world today. And sometimes we may project that onto our divine counterpart, okay? Same goes for the masculines. A lot of the masculine, this is very, very, very important. I really, really want this to be very, very clear. A lot of the divine masculines have been prey of the false spirituality matrix. Divine feminines. Compassion comes when you understand that the same experience that you had within the matrix that was stifling into a box and that was shaming your feminine nature, the same kind of experiences the masculine had when they found these like emotional support in a fake spirituality. Okay, so you as a feminine, you are looking for material support, for structure, for understanding of the world, in a box that was very distorted, that asked you to be someone you're not, that robbed you of your emotional expression and authentic freedom. And so you carry a lot of that resentment because that was the only way that you could survive in the world, right? So there's a lot of I'm going to talk later about the wound of safety, okay? The wound of safety for both counterparts, for the Divine Feminine Collective. And the masculine is around the wound of love, the wound of being worthy of love. But back to what I was saying, the Divine Masculines, they were seeking this understanding of their emotional world, right? It's part of our nature to go towards this wholeness, to understand and create this balance within ourselves. And what they did is that they found this very, very toxic, manipulative environment of false light spirituality that lured them into a very, very, very into a dark hole. A lot of these false light preachers, they use sexuality as a way to like attract. They use manipulation as a way to draw you into these cults. I have a very, very deep experience with this, and that was part of my mission, to understand how difficult it is for people to get out of that system once you're in. So it really robs you of your power. It really robs you of your own they rob you of your own individuality, so that you become part of the cult, so that you become quote unquote one of them. Anyway, I'm definitely, part of my purpose is to speak about this, so I will most definitely create something with regards to that as an extension of my purpose. However, these matrices represent the distorted feminine. The matrix is the distorted masculine, patriarchy, toxic masculinity. Okay? The false matrix, the false spirituality, is representing the distorted feminine. And here we are in a world where we both seek answers, we both seek support in the areas that we most want to find freedom, and we stumble upon what we think are solutions, which are totally moving us into the opposite direction, which is the direction of the devil. God is unity, okay? Spirituality, the forced spirituality, moves you away from the real deep femininity, right? Because it's not authentic. It operates on illusions. Same goes for the matrix. The matrix, like the societal structures, they move you away from the kind of masculine support that a feminine needs, right? Because it's very stifling, because it's very harsh, okay? So they both moved us away from each other. They both moved us away from our true nature. And so part of our healing path is to heal the resentment. The Divine Masculines have a lot of resentment towards feminines as well. They may express it differently because they're mostly avoidant. Not all. I have a very strong avoidant side as well. I'm probably the runner in most cases, but anyway. So this is very, very important, okay? Now, there's a lot of trust that needs to be established in these connections. I just saw 1155. There is a very deep need for trust okay? Feminists need to trust the masculine and to lean on to their structure, that they're not going to be taken advantage of, that they're not going to be stifled, that they're not going to be used. Very, very important one, that their creativity is not going to be used for profit, or that their sexual nature is not going to be, used in a very selfish way, or that your authentic expression is not going to be corrected, right? And the masculines have to trust as well that the feminine is not going to manipulate them. It's not going to use like their generosity and their and their support for the wrong purposes, towards the devil, something that is not of God, of the light. Okay, we're both going blind into this. The more we heal our past, the more we heal what these structures have imprinted upon us as false programming, the more we come together. But in the beginning, it may not be obvious. And I want to give you guys a timeline that was channeled through me yesterday. By the way, yeah, what I was saying is that yesterday I started channeling these very, very, very strong new messages, and because like my body felt very sick, like my mind was trying to like navigate all these new like concepts, and like I realized how the next level will require me a much more solid masculine structure. And that is how we can provide, that is what we can provide to each other. The masculines as well right now, they're awakening, they're having a heart chakra awakening, they're truly awakening to this like all of a sudden they're opening to like all of these emotions that they don't know how to navigate, and so the feminine can provide her emotional mastery to help them understand that. So it is a flow of energy, right? It's a flow of energy that one, it means that, it's not 10-10. It's not, okay, we're complete masters and we're just dealing, you deal with your own thing and I deal with my own thing. That's hyper independence. 11-11, it's interdependence. It's that one over there that makes the whole difference. Okay, it's the little dots in each one that creates this synergy and that creates this unity. Okay, hyper independence is not going to create unity. It's avoidance, period. And it's also, this is something that I think both sides of the collective struggle with. The divine masculines may look at the feminine like, oh, you gotta deal with this on your own. It's impossible. Why? Because of the feminines carry a very, very deep wound of safety in the world. For them to do the slightest... Okay, I'm going to speak to myself because I don't want to put this onto you, onto everyone else. But the things that for the masculines come extremely natural, for the divine feminines, it's a whole challenge, okay? That comes from a very, very deep wound of lack of safety in the world, out there, the outer world, okay? Everything that is like material around. Personally, if I can see it in my moon energy, in my shadow energy, in my inner world, the whole freaking day, not even eat, not take care of myself, not pay my bills, I'd be the happiest. But we can't really do that, and we can't do that. And also, we would never be of service at this high level unless we bring in a higher level of mastery in those challenging areas. Same goes for the masculine. If the masculine were to just focus on his like logical nonsense and just structure himself out all day, he'd be the happiest, like not dealing with all this emotional nonsense and all this chaos that he can't control. But again, he's never gonna find that emotional fulfillment that his soul is going to seek. It's always seeking underneath, but he's trying to stifle it, just like the Matrix. Anyway, so okay, I'm going to conclude this part of the message, and I want to actually go back to our reading yesterday, because there were some very important messages that came through with regards to the energies that we are navigating currently when it comes to divine partnerships. But before I conclude, I just wanted to give a timeline, and that is, so we are in the year of the snake, which is completion. We are shedding old skin, and that is the 10. Next year is going to be the 11. Please pay very attention. The next year is the year of the horse, which is like, it really speaks about this emotional and mental freedom in partnership. So this year we may need like extreme compassion with each other, because yes, we have completed our individual journeys and we are slowly bringing the other into our world. Now next year this unity is going to become much more solid. Missions are really going to be out into the world, and by 2027, I was very guided to share this. 2027, we're really established as leaders of the new earth, 100%. And then the next 5 years, because I was talking about this 7-year cycles of Pentacles, then the next 5 years are truly about expansion, reaching out the people, serving the community. But the next 2 years, especially this year, is about this creating this solid dynamic between the two counterparts, taking baby steps, very important baby steps. And then next year is going to elevate you to a higher level of your mission, when that partnership is really solid. And then the next 5 years are really gonna skyrocket like your expansion and your influence. All right, so let's go to the reading. Okay, just very quickly, the left side is the feminine side, the right side is the masculine side. And what I was channeling is the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning in love. This is the next level of our mastery, is the new beginning in terms of divine partnership. This is the first card that came through. Then there was the Lovers, which is a choice in love, a choice in life directions, a crossroads. And this is going to determine whether we remain at this level of healing that we have established, or move forward into a higher level of expansion, heightened, like higher heights, continue this ascension in divine partnership. So let me explain. For the divine feminines, the options were the following. Okay, the start card in the reverse, meaning, okay, as a divine feminine, you can choose to opt out of this journey. There is no superior path, and I want to clarify this very strongly, because if someone tells you that they're more superior and whatnot because they're on mission, those are freaking scammers. No one who is at this level of mastery will look down on you or feel superior, because that's not what being of service really means. That's an ego-based perspective and nonsense, okay? So right now, it's all about a soul choice. And the choice was around, and I'm going to use these words very carefully, settling for a soulmate connection, which was this Peter Pan card. This is a soulmate connection that sees you as this unicorn, that sees you for your magic, that loves you for who you truly are. It's a very cozy and homey vibe, but the masculine is still in his Peter Pan energy, okay? Meaning, this is a masculine that is not able to provide the real support structure, the structure and support system that you need to ascend to greater heights. This is what is written in the other card with the with the flying horse, ascend to greater heights. So the option is, okay, I am not going to ascend to greater heights. That is as far as I want to go in my ascension journey, in my spiritual awakening. I had enough of this nonsense. I want to live a happy, homey, cozy life with someone who sees the real me, who loves the real me, provides me some sort of comfort, some sort of security. And we're going to be happily ever after. Perfectly valid. Great choice. Now, if you choose a divine masculine, someone who's really, really, really in their masculine energy and who comes to you and says, I am going to provide this support structure for you to be in your most highest expression as a divine feminine. But you gotta be you gotta be along for the ride, meaning you need to be able to do the dance that I previously explained. Like, you need to be able to understand that you have a master by your side as well. So it's a very different dance, a very, very different life choices and life paths. Again, both are great. We have reached a level of our ascension journey where we are receiving our gifts, right? It's a matter of choose your gift, right? One is not bigger or better than the other. It's this is the gift that I want to have, a peaceful life, a more harmonious life, or this is the other gift that I want to have, a life of mission, a life of service, a life of this high level partnership. Okay. But also know that this soulmate is not like a karmic. This is a person who sees who you are, who sees the real you. So you're not going to feel like you change who you are. No. This is not like karmic connections either, right? It's just the dynamic between you is going to be different. I just saw butterfly. Oh my God. It was huge. Oh, wow. Anyway. So the choice was between universal love and intuition with this third eye chakra. It's like the divine feminine in her mastery. And the other one was the cosmic flower with, there was something around feeling at home. Okay, feeling at home, like this homey vibe. Both awesome, both amazing. I must say, until yesterday, I had both in my energy. Honestly, I didn't know which one I wanted to choose. Today I know, which is why I'm recording this. Anyway, right. For the divine masculines, this is very, very interesting. For the divine masculines, please pay attention. So we had the first path, which is the path of the star card in the reverse, which is the path of, okay, I've done enough healing. This is as far as I can go on this spiritual journey, and I'm going to settle for an ego-based life where I put distance between me and my feminine. You can see it, the card on the right. It's like, I'm not willing to put in the work to this whole emotional depth and emotional connection, and it's too much for me. I'm afraid of the feminine energy. I want to keep control. So this is a masculine who wants to keep control over the feminine energy, over his sexuality, over his emotions, over is in his ego. Okay, he's a masculine that is, yes, a little bit more advanced than most matrix dudes, but he's not going to be a master. In this state, a masculine is not going to teach. He's not going to be a new earth leader. God, no. Unless you are in your wholeness to teach others, unless you are really in your master, in your feminine mastery as well, this behavior, no, God is not going to give you a real, a master divine feminine. Okay. He's going to give you a better option, but he's not a master. So this masculine is a masculine that is not in his power. With empowerment over here, this is not masculine power, because he still wants to have power over external world, because he still wants to have the full sense of control over areas of his life that he doesn't master. So he, instead of creating that inner power, that inner mastery, he still searches outside to control, because he feels lack of control within. And so these cards were represented, like, I wanted to look deeper. I wanted to look deeper into why would this masculine choose this path. And I was looking at the death in the reverse, which is fear of transformation. The Nine of Wands, which is the wounded warrior, like stuff from the past that he's unwilling to heal, that he doesn't have the willingness to go deep into his vulnerability to heal, because healing is a very, very vulnerable process. I just saw 12. The Ten of Cups in the reverse is, I do not want my wish fulfillment, my highest happiness. You can see like he's like, his highest fulfillment is like feminine, children, like a lot of cool stuff over there, like a community that he's serving. And he's like, I'm putting distance. Like, I don't want to be too close to that. I don't want to integrate my feminine energy. I'm too scared of that, or I'm too superior for that, whatever. This is not a divine masculine. This is a more evolved masculine. Anyway, so, and you can see also in the feminine, it's like there's a distance between them, right? One is like very earthy, and the other one is like a unicorn. So this is a masculine, like the soulmate path. It's a masculine that is still very much in his material realm. He's like, okay, I can look at you from afar, like you're all magical and beautiful, but I'm not going to enter into your crazy world. Anyway, so it's, yeah, this is the fear of the feminine. And the last card was also Ace of Swords. Yeah, Ace of Swords in the reverse was like wishful thinking, like not taking action, like looking at life from like, yeah, this is my fairy tale, but I'm not going to take action towards it, right? This is also like passive energy, a masculine who's not taking action towards the divine feminine. So this is a choice for most of them, but for the majority, it's going to be a lack of choice. That is also going to be a choice, period. So a masculine who's not going to take action, a masculine who wants to stay in his path, a masculine who is afraid of transformation, a masculine who is self-sabotaging with the Ten of Cups in the reverse, and a masculine who is manipulative and wants to keep control over the feminine. These were the choices, the path that the masculines currently in this stage of development can choose. The other path is the path of the fertility, abundance, throat chakra, and divine masculine. Okay. Now you may ask, like, what is this witch over here in the dark feminine, like with the dark cat? This is a masculine who is no longer afraid of the feminine power. For me, the witch is like feminine power at the highest level. This is a masculine who has chosen to embrace his divine masculine and to like be authentic, be vulnerable, express himself, express his emotions, be utterly genuine in who he really is, embrace the rawness of his emotions instead of like controlling or trying to look perfect and trying to whatnot. Throat chakra is an incredible, powerful energy center. The divine masculines who want to choose this path, they must work on their emotional expression, on their vulnerability. That was the message that was coming through. This is your path of abundance, divine masculine. It's not like the rigid control, power over kind of path, okay? So these divine masculines have chosen to no longer be afraid of their emotions, no longer be afraid of their maybe sexuality, of their sensitivity, and they are going to integrate their feminine energy. And this kind of masculine is going to lean into like crown chakra. This masculine, you know, once you have had a heart chakra awakening, the next level is to to activate your throat chakra, to express those emotions out into the world, actually goes deeper than that. Once you have healed your solar plexus, which is the ego, this is a masculine who has ascended from ego into heart chakra, period. This is the lover's choice. This is the crossroads. It's like, do I want to stay in my ego because I'm always right, and I want to stay in a worldview where I have control over and I am the best? This is the kind of cult and the kind of matrix that you will create. Or do I want to go on a path where I'm not God, because I'm a human, and where I will have the humility and the vulnerability to not be a master in that regard, and to lower down my ego, because this is a world that I do not master, because this is a world that I do not know, because this is someone else's area of mastery. I'm entering into someone else's home. I'm not just going to, sit on the couch with my shoes on. I don't know. Just, you know what I'm saying? This is very, very important. It's like the masculines that are entering into this new advanced state, they are putting their egos on the backseat. Sure, you need your ego to protect yourself from the world, but when you are in divine partnership, that ego takes the backseat. Because the divine feminine will put you to shame, realizing how little control you actually have. God will put you to shame through her, because we really do not have control. Like, God is the pilot, okay? We may think we are the pilots of our lives, which we try to control as much as possible. Sure, we are the drivers of the things that we can control, but there's so much more when you expand from that worldview of the little life you've created and that you can control out of fear. That's still survival mode, right? We are stepping from survival into thriving. And I hope this message really, really, really sinks in. This is a very powerful message, very complex. This is what is going to unfold over the next one. I'm hearing 2 weeks. There was another message around the 22nd of March. Something very powerful is going to happen. I believe that's when we enter into Aries. So enjoy this inner transformation. Enjoy these layers of mastery, these energy updates. Compassion is the key. I hope with this new shift in perspective, you're able to see each other from different lenses. And I hope that whichever choice you make is going to be the one that is most aligned with your soul's path. All right, everyone. Let me know in the comments below how this message resonated. I truly hope it was of service. I look forward to seeing you soon in some other energy update or community post, or who knows. But Aries is a new beginning, and Aries is a shift in this energy where we're stepping into service for the world, service for our community, for our soul tribe. All right, dear ones, take care.